Leclerc had that inside line. Perez goes off the track. Comes to chicane. Off goes Leclerc. Through goes Hamilton. Unbelievable stuff.
This is Solo P1. Welcome to the F1 Flaming Tarmac episode 78, and this is the weekend of the Monza GP. Big up to everybody joining us today on this Thursday evening. Big up to everybody. This is one of the big races of the calendar, F1 Monza. And I've actually titled it, Can Ferrari Make a Comeback at this track, Monza? If you look historically, they have done well at this track, very, very well. And hopefully this weekend, Ferrari can get some sort of race together, because after that last Grand Prix, at the Dutch Grand Prix, when they both had a double DNF, absolutely disaster by Ferrari. And hopefully they can get stuff in place. You remember this season was supposed to be a big season for Ferrari. They said they was going to put everything into this car. They said this was their season. They were going to go all in to see if they could win a championship, probably with Lewis Hamilton. But it hasn't come that way, really. Been about McLaren. You got a hats off to McLaren, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri doing their thing. I know Lando Norris had a bad start. I know he had a DNF, but I think he's about 32 points behind Oscar Piastri, but I still think there's a chance for Lando to claw that back. I still think there's a chance to claw that back. But what do you guys think? Let me know. Remember, guys, big up to everybody who's listening to us on the podcast. On the iTunes, on the Spotify. Yeah, it's going to be good, man. Sorry, bear with me. So, I'm waiting for Toto Hammer to come along. He's not here yet. He's running a little bit late. But we're going to get his opinion on it as well. But yeah, F1 Flaming Tarmac. Yeah, man. So, this weekend, we've got a report. The report, it wasn't a report. It was off Villeneuve. I'm just going to bring this up on the screen. It was from Jack Villeneuve, and for people listening on the audio, let me just bring this up. It's because Jack Villeneuve, for me, he's the best F1 reporter, in my opinion. He's the only one who calls it the way it is. I'm going to bring up some of Jack Villeneuve. He said it's going to be very hard for Ferrari to make any ground. Let me just bring this up. Where I've just had it on my thing. Hold on 1 second. Oh, sorry, bear with me. There we go. I'm going to bring it up on the screen. It's from Jack Villeneuve. Why does my screen keep playing up every single time? This was from Jack Villeneuve. It's on the F1 website if you want to go and have a look at it. So let me just make that a little bit bigger. There you go. So basically, Italian Grand Prix former F1 champion Jack Villeneuve said Ferrari are way off the pace going into the Monza race. Ferrari go into the second home race of the year on the back of a double retirement from Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc at Zandvoort. Watch Friday's practice session, which will be tomorrow. Remember, that's 12 p.m. UK time. So basically, former Formula One champion Jack Villeneuve says Ferrari are way off going into this weekend's Italian Grand Prix. Ferrari had a nightmare race in Zandvoort after Lewis Hamilton crashed and Charles Leclerc was hit by Mercedes Kimi Antonelli and also retired. Post-race, Hamilton was given a 5-grid place penalty. So basically, Lewis Hamilton's 5-place grid penalty will come into play this weekend. The timing of that is just unreal. It's just basically unreal, that the timing that he's getting that 5-place group penalty at Monza as well. So, look, there was a big debate about this, if he deserved that 5-second place group penalty. It is what it is. I can't be bothered to argue with this debate about it on X. It's just pointless. It's just wasted energy. We know how it goes when it comes to the stewards, and Lewis Hamilton, just it all stems back from 2021. It was an utter disgrace, but it is what it is. So Paul Hamilton was given a five-place group penalty for this Sunday's race in Monza for failing to slow significantly under a double wave yellow flag on the laps to the grid as Zandvoort. So we know how that goes with Lewis Hamilton. So reconsidering lap to grid, whatever, bro, whatever. So Ferrari traditionally perform strongly at the Italian Grand Prix, even in seasons when they are competing for the championship. But Villeneuve is unsure this time around. Normally they had a special engine, special car, but I don't expect that this year. So basically what he's saying is, if you watch Ferrari over the years, they always do good at Monza. They build the car for Monza. They build it for Monza. So it doesn't matter how their season goes when it comes to Monza. They usually do good at Monza, you get me? So it is what it is. So basically, normally they have a special engine, special car, but I don't expect that this year. He said on Sky Sports F1, latest episode of F1 Show podcast. Go check that out. Brilliant podcast. I listen to it every single week. They are off. They are way off. This car is not working. Normally the car is kind of working. It's a battle, and then they get a little extra from Monza. A little extra won't cut it right now. So that's what they're saying. There has been plenty of attention surrounding Hamilton's struggles in the first season at Ferrari, but teammate Leclerc has also increasingly shown his frustration as well. So yeah, you can check out that podcast. It goes, Leclerc questioned whether Ferrari needed pit at a second time in Zandvoort, which provided Antonelli the opportunity to attack the bank turn 3 where the car collided. Villeneuve said Charles is frustrated because he's probably starting to understand that they will never be world champion. It's gone bad, gotten worse. Absolutely diabolical Ferrari at the moment. Next year is a whole new set of regulations, and normally that's not when Ferrari is at its best. So it's a difficult situation for him. He's been there for a long time, and his star has fallen a little bit. At least Lewis can rely on the fact that he is a multiple world champion. So it doesn't matter if the star falls a little bit. He will always be that big global star anyway that goes beyond F1. Yeah, it's true. So Charles Leclerc, really, the situation we got here with Ferrari, Charles Leclerc has been there for a long time, coming up to a decade, and he hasn't won anything. He's won the occasional race, but he hasn't won a championship at all, and it doesn't look like he's going to win. If it was me, I'd wait till next season. I believe that when next season comes, if Ferrari's not good, I think Charles Leclerc will probably leave. Probably end up going somewhere like Mercedes or Red Bull. It's going to happen. Or maybe even Aston Martin. Maybe Aston Martin's going to be the car that everybody's going to look out for. We don't know. We know that Lance Stroll, his dad is building something big over there because they've got a new technical centre as well. He's spending big money over there at Aston Martin, and we'll see what happens. But if this continues, I just can't see Charles Leclerc, for the sake of his career and for winning championships, staying at Ferrari. It's just unbelievable. What's happened with Ferrari. Look, when Lewis Hamilton went there, I was one of these fans that was happy for Lewis Hamilton to go to Ferrari. Didn't work out. I thought, yeah, you know what? Let's go to Ferrari. New fresh start. Regulations are going to change. We'll see what happens. But again, next year might be the season for Ferrari. We know next year it's going to be more based on engine power. The ground effect's not really going to be a factor, not like this season and the season previous. I think the ground effect has been the worst season in the worst set of regulations in history. It only catered to one driver only, and that was Red Bull and Max Verstappen. no one else. They set it up, in my opinion, designed for him. So basically said, also continuing, they might finish second in Constructors' Championship, but they actually are fourth, the fourth horse. They are simply lucky that in Red Bull, there's only one driver scoring points, and same with the Mercedes of case. Yeah, of course, because you imagine if Red Bull had cars, imagine if Red Bull had two drivers scoring points and Mercedes consistently had two drivers scoring points, it would have been a different matter, in my opinion. So Hamilton's confidence is back. Speaking before Hamilton's grid penalty was announced, Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur tried to see the positives from Zandvoort. There was no positives. How can you see positives from this? There's no positives. You got a double DNF. That's it. No positives. So Hamilton had described himself as useless amid the struggles in Hungary and the final round before the break, but said upon arriving in Zandvoort that he was focused, getting back to enjoying racing. The 40-year-old was the 40-year-old was at least able to take some solace from the fact he was closer to his teammate Leclerc in terms of general pace throughout the weekend and reached Q3 for the first time since the British Grand Prix in early July. So if you want to go and read all that, I'm not going to sit there and read it all to you guys. If you want to go and read it, go on to f1.com. This is where I go a lot of the time for my information, but I've got other websites that I go to, but F1, obviously, that's the common one. But yeah, the F1 Flaming Tarmac, man, I'm talking about Ferrari. This is predominantly about Ferrari. The reason why I'm talking about just Ferrari is because obviously it's a Monza, and I think Ferrari need to be on it this weekend. Because if they're not on it this weekend, I think it's just going to be a downward spiral for the Reds. That's just how I feel, because it's just not really working, is it? It's just not really working.